What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. My name is Sean Porter. So this is Keeping Up with SP. It's going to be about a weekly podcast where I discuss a little bit of motivation, a little bit of my experiences going on here at SL. And if anybody want to reach out to me, you can always hit me up on the gram. You can always hit me up in any social medias that you find me at. But I would like to start this podcast by saying, hey, welcome to episode one. So, basically, when it comes to my podcast, when it comes to speaking, I'm a really chill, laid back person at the end of the day. I just like to vibe and just be myself for real, for real. But, so the first thing about motivation that I want to speak about is, you know, I've been hearing a lot of people in SL, when I speak to them, a lot of them are having issues when it comes to dealing with pain, dealing with regret, and dealing with moving on in life and figuring things out as they're going along their journey. And, I just want to let everybody know just because you're in pain right now, or just because you're going through something, don't mean you got to stay in there forever. You know what I'm saying? Tough times only last for a short period of time. And if you got a lot of time dealing with pain, you guys got to know that God going to get you out of it. You can't sit there and feel like, damn, I'm going to always be here. Because you may not always be here in that struggle. Everybody goes through a struggle. But it's about how you get up. And at the end of the day, it could be a situation where you're unhappy with your job, you're unhappy with the way your life is going, you're unhappy with your marriage, things like that. But it's about having strength and knowing that, you know what, tomorrow's gonna be a better day. God gonna get me out of it somehow. And that's the way you gotta play it. And that's the way you gotta go. You know, me, I've gone through a lot of challenges in life. But I got up from it. I didn't look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'ma stay in this. No. I got up and fought. I got up and got strong. And I lived. I lived to see another day. It may take 5 years. It may take 10 years. But it's about still getting up and still knowing you're gonna be alright. And that's the way you gotta play it. In relation to more of my experiences here at SL, I'm not gonna lie. Man, it's been interesting so far. I've been here for about a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Kind of leaving the streets of California behind, back inside of the crazy world of Out the Mud. And, shout out to all my fellow members out there in YND, Big YND, Young and Dangerous, the vibes. But at the end of the day, I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm happy where I'm growing, and I'm happy where I'm building. And, I still go back to the trenches and say what's up to my niggas. I still talk to them. We still hang on the block, you know what I'm saying? Still dissing the ops, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's about growth. It's about finding yourself and finding what you like to do and getting out there and doing it. And that's what I'm all about on this journey because I've been going through it. I've been going to QOS. I ain't gonna lie, QOS is probably the nicest club I've been to personally. I mean, I've been to some other hot spots. I ain't gonna front, but QOS got it. I ain't gonna lie, QOS, y'all got it. I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all. Y'all got it. The DJs in there be lit. It be fire. So if anybody's looking for a nice fire night out, definitely go to QOS. They got it. Almost every night they got it. I promise you they got it. Um, I was actually brought over here by my sister actually. One of my sisters. I have two sisters by the way. We have different parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, same mom, you know what I'm saying, different dad. I mean, you know, you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I want to say shout out my sister Cookie. Shout out my sister Cookie Levette. You know what I'm saying? And shout out my sister Diamond Love. You know the vibes. Love y'all both. Hell yeah. Um, then of course, I gotta shout out the love of my life. You know what I'm saying? I gotta shout out my wife. Shout out to Miss Jaya Escobar Porter. You know the vibes. I love you, my heart. You know what I'm saying? She's been helping me also to, get adjusted to everything inside of Second Life, as well as my sister too, and a lot of great people she's brought me around. You know, my sister Diamond, she's introduced me to, my boy Risky, Vixen, you know what I'm saying? We got Zay, so people like that I've just been around. It's just, helped me to really grow and just learn about this whole world. Because when you coming from, like, the 5M world and the whole, you know, type of things be going on in there, and you come over here, it's a whole new experience. I've been seeing a whole lot of new things, and it's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't expect all I done seen. I done seen church. I done seen some wild shit. I done seen Dubai. I saw Paris. I ain't gonna lie. Me and my wife, we actually got engaged in Paris, and it was so beautiful. So I took her like to this little club we I went to, and we went to the dance floor, and we just vibed and we just chilled and we just had the whole atmosphere just lit. I enjoy it. I ain't gonna cap. And then we also went to Dubai together. Pretty soon gonna be going to London, and honestly, like just experiences even like that with her to hanging out, with my sister Diamond, seeing all of her people she's introduced me to that I just named also. It's like I've been having a good time and just living and adjusting and just figuring out like, what I'm saying, what's gonna be next in my journey. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do was podcast. You know what I'm saying? When I was over inside of Out the Mud and 5M, I was really finding myself in a space of really just being more in tune with the whole, you know, always just being a gang and staying in the streets and fighting and going to wars and shootouts and you know, I'm a crash out sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna hear some stories probably about me being a crash out sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I didn't change, but I ain't changed too much. I'm still a little bit there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like I've grown and become a much better human being over here, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I mean, when I go to QoS, I ain't gonna lie, I still got my switch on me. I ain't gonna keep it a beam. I still got it on me. You know what I'm saying? Let's me disrespect my wife, disrespect my sisters and her people. You know what I'm saying? It's going up. Word to bro. But at the end of the day, um, I'm at peace and I'm happy. And this journey and this experience, it ain't gonna stop. So one thing about me, you guys are gonna see me on this podcast not only talk about motivation, but I'm also gonna be talking about fashions. I'm very big into clothing. Looking into get into being maybe like a male model. You know what I'm saying? Like wear my suits and everything. Follow me on the gram. You're gonna see my blog. Um, and also, you guys are gonna see me just talk about life and experiences and just overcoming challenges and struggles. At the end of the day, you're gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you don't want to stay in, God gonna get you through it. You're gonna be alright. And as long as you just live life and fight strong, you're gonna live to see another day. And that goes for anybody in this world going through something. And I don't want to hold up my podcast too long. First episode, first everything, but I just want to say, thank you for everyone who's watching and viewing. This is the first episode of Keeping Up with SP. I appreciate everything. My name is Son Porter, the Don SP. And follow me on the gram, on the blogs, Twitter, all the links at the bio at the bottom. And thank you so much and have a blessed day.